If you've got moldy, cracked, or peeling silicone caulk around your shower door, it's not just ugly, but it can be very unhealthy. Today, I'm going to show you the best way to strip out that old silicone, clean the area, and recaulk your shower door so it looks fresh, stays watertight, and resists mold growth. We'll go step by step, and I'll show you the tools and the products that I recommend, and I'll even cover a few mistakes to avoid so you don't have to redo the job later. So let's get started. When you're dealing with old caulk, especially the moldy kind, safety comes first. Wear disposable gloves, and if the mold is bad, a mask will help too. Now, the best way to get a perfect job is to actually remove these shower doors and give yourself more room to work. And this is a great time to go ahead and clean your track, your shower door, and the rollers to make them work better. And if the dirt and the mold is real bad, then you can remove the bottom track to make sure that there's no mold left. This gives you full access to every edge and every corner. But if that sounds like too much, don't worry, you can still get a good solid result without removing everything. You'll just need to take your time. In order to remove the shower doors on this style shower, all there's a center guide between the two doors and a screw that's holding it together on the inside. So we'll just unscrew that screw, remove it, slide the guide out that holds the two doors apart, and then that allows your doors to freely come out. And then we'll show you how to remove the door now. Now, I also like to cover the shower drain with tape. This way nothing falls down in there, like the screws, any bolts or anything that will get stuck down the drain. I also like to mark the doors so you don't get them mixed up. So this one is our outside door, front. This one is our inside door, back. This way we know exactly how to put them back on and don't get confused. Now, in order to remove the doors, you start with the back one and just lift it up, and it comes off the track, and just carry it out. Just being careful you don't break the glass. And then the other door does the same thing. Stand inside the shower, and the wheels are hooked on to the front of a track on this front one, and they hook on the back of the track on the back one. So just lift it up, pull it to the back, and take it out. There, now we've got some room to work. So this is the part that takes the most patience, getting rid of the old silicone. If you try to caulk over it or silicone over the old stuff, the new silicone will not stick. So here are three methods that work. Number one, scraping tools. I like to use a plastic scraper. Now I've got another one that's got a metal part to it, but be very careful you don't scratch your fiberglass while using it. I also have a razor scraper, but keep the blade flat to avoid scratching. And anytime you work with a razor, you always want to spray it with water first to give it some lubrication to move easier. And then the third thing I use is a chemical caulk remover. Now these will soften up the silicone so it peels up easier. And the last thing I like to use is the heat gun, either a hair dryer or a heat gun on low setting. It softens the silicone up and it makes it much easier to scrape out. So just take your time here. Even little bits left behind will keep the new bead from sealing properly. So you want to make sure that you get it. So the way I prefer doing the silicone is to take a razor blade and to go at a slight angle right on the edge of your metal. Don't cut too hard, but just cut in there real lightly. You're cutting through the silicone, but you're not cutting your fiberglass. If you have to make 2 or 3 passes, do that. That way you don't cut too deep. As I started pulling the silicone out from underneath the track, I saw that there's mold all around the inside, and it's even starting to come on the outside of the track here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and pull this whole track off. And it's not hard to do. You just have to get the silicone cleaned. The screw holes will still be in there, so it's easy to reinstall it, but you just take the top track off first. There's 2 screws holding it, and then you take off the 2 side tracks. This one has 3 screws holding it in, and then the bottom track will just come up. Okay, we've got it all apart now, and yeah, there's a lot of mold underneath it here, so we're going to go ahead and clean it up. I'm going to use some Clorox on it, kill all the mold, get it nice and clean. Chemical, make sure that there's no silicone left, and then we'll reinstall it. I'm going to show you the difference here, that if you don't use a spray, you can hear it's scraping on the fiberglass. So what I like to do is go ahead and spray it, give it some lubrication to move easily, and then you can take your scraper and it just takes it right off. And you can see how easily, once I put that spray on there, the silicone just comes right off without scratching your fiberglass. And all you have to do is just a little bit of cleaning. Makes it very simple. And if you hold your razor blade straight up when you have the liquid down and just slowly drag it, you'll clean all the silicone off of there without scraping your fiberglass. Do it real easy and slow, and it'll clean it all up. See the lines it's taken off? Okay, so I've tried all these products to see which one removed the silicone the best. And a lot of these were recommended by people on YouTube, and if you do a Google search. So after trying all of them, none of them would actually just remove it with the spray and the cloth. You had to use a razor blade to finish it up. But the one that loosened it up the best out of all of them, can you guess which one? This one right here. And I'll show it to you. This one worked the best. Plus it's natural. Plus it's safer to use than the other ones. So this is what I would recommend. And I'm going to show you a little demonstration on how it took the silicone off. So I know it's not so easy to see, but you can see the line of silicone still here after I used the initial razor blade. So we're going to go ahead and spray it with this. And let it sit there for just a minute. Okay, so now that it's set for just a minute, when I scrape, I like to scrape toward this inside because that's going to be covered up. So if you happen to accidentally scrape it with your razor blade, it's not going to show up. So look how it takes it off. And then to wipe it with a cloth, there. Now we'll rinse it off with the soapy water and let it dry. Put the track back on it and then get ready to reapply new silicone. Now, a word of caution when you're using your razor blade. You may be wondering, how much of an angle do I hold this? And I found out that if you hold it at a steep angle like this, you're going to cut in and scrape up your shower stall. So the best way I found, hold it about midway here and let your finger touch your shower, and that way you have it about the right angle. So your finger should be rubbing and the blade. And when you do it like this, you don't have a chance of accidentally getting in there and gouging out your fiberglass shower stall. So now we'll just wipe it all down with a dry towel. Leave it to dry. I'm going to put a fan on it, come back in a couple hours and make sure it's all dry. If you don't have that much time to wait, just go ahead and put your fan on it and then come back with a hair dryer and make sure it's all dry. Okay, so now we have everything cleaned up. I took all the pieces for the rail and shined them all up. An easy way to clean these up is to take very fine steel wool, like the 4/40, and use that to get all the water spots and mineral deposits off of them. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and start installing the track, and we'll go the opposite of removing it. So we'll start at the bottom, do both sides, and then do our top. Here's a little trick you can do. So I didn't get these mixed up. I scratched inside the back of the rail. This is the left side, and this is the arrow pointing to the top of it, so you remember how to reassemble it. The caulk I'm using right now is called the Advanced Silicone Caulk, 100% waterproof. This is made by GE. This says a 30-minute water ready time. I normally like to give it half a day or 24 hours if you can. This is specifically made for kitchen and bath. And the important thing on this, it says a 10-year mold-free sealant. So you definitely want to get one that's mold-free so you don't get that problem again of the mold getting on there and coming through. I've got a video that gets into more detail on how to put silicone on, but when you do it, you never want to use your finger to smooth it out. And I'll show you in that video, because when you use your finger's round and it leaves a concave bead of caulk or bead of silicone on here, and what that does, it keeps it thin on the sides and moisture can get inside there. And another myth is you never want to use a spray of water or water and soap to put on there, because that soap and water gets in behind there and the silicone won't stick tight, and you'll be able to see. I do a demonstration in that other video, and I'll put a link to it up in the corner up here. So we'll start at the bottom. When I'm putting on silicone, I like to push it as opposed to pulling it, and the reason that I've always liked doing that is because it kind of pushes it inside to get a better seal. It's just the way I kind of grew up. I've tried different ways and I find that's the best way. So make sure you have enough paper towels when you're working on this, and I like to use a caulk tool. What this is, it has a square corners on it. Some have round, but the square ones is what we're going to use. That way it gets a good amount of caulk or silicone in there and makes the bead look real nice. So all you do is you start at the bottom here and just do a continuous strip all the way up. You can see how nice of a bead of silicone it puts on there. It covers it good, and it's going to stay. One thing you want to remember is make sure you get the silicone in all these little crack areas so that water won't leak inside there. So anywhere where there's two pieces of metal coming together, go ahead and silicone it. So now we have everything siliconed. We've got the outside silicone, we've got the inside, and anywhere two pieces of metal meet, you shouldn't see any dark lines. They should all be siliconed to stop any water from coming in. A lot of times, if there's a little pinhole or a small tiny hole that you forgot to silicone, water will seep in there, and that's where your mold starts. The removal is the hardest part. But if you take everything off and you get it all removed properly and all cleaned, putting on the new silicone is real simple, and it'll last for years. So I hope this video has helped you to take away that fear of recaulking or resiliconing your shower doors or your bathtub. And if this video has helped you, give it a thumbs up and subscribe and hit that notification bell if you haven't subscribed already. I really appreciate it, and it does help to support this channel. And always remember to support your local hardware stores, especially the mom and pop stores. It helps them, it helps your community. You probably get a little more personal service. If you can't find it, go ahead and hit that link. You can get this stuff shipped straight to your door, and there's no extra cost to you, and it helps support the channel. And don't forget to check out some of my other videos. I'll leave a link up here in the corner that might be just the video you need for the project that you're working on or getting ready to work on. There's no need to hire somebody else. You can do it yourself. Well, thanks for watching. You take care, and God bless.